Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. This is not your first time. Thank you for coming back. So, just getting some cards ready. Remember to subscribe so that you can interact with me while I'm live. If you would like to see what kind of projects I'm up to, my team and I, go to soulworksynergistics.com/projects. If you'd like to book a private session with me, go to emmyevolving.com. And if you are drawn to and have the ability to, I still am taking donations for my legal fund. I am in the process of retaining lawyers in Switzerland to go ahead and deal with the legalities of what I need to do. And that pertains to very credible death threats from some guy who's been stalking me for 2.5 years. All right. Here we go, guys. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is the consequences are now being received and your power being realized. Someone did something. Someone did something. I'm not sure what, but they did something, and now they're going to receive the consequences as they should. As they should. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Lindsay actually put the link. Thank you. I also put the link on both Facebook and YouTube. So let me see. She added a second link. I will be having another way for me to earn the funds necessary. I'm so close, you guys. So close. I am having 3 events in the month of October. These events are only $33 to participate, and I will be doing private fire ceremony. So these 3 events are going to be private fire ceremonies that you can participate in. And as you are present for what I am doing for myself, there is energetic blowover that then will affect you and your life in a beneficial way. It will do for you in your personal circumstance what I'm doing for me in mine. I'm all about everyone being able to also receive, right? It's important. It's important for us to be able to receive the support, the assistance that we need. I'm all about doing that. There was another deck that I wanted to pull. Oh, my deck. That's the one that was missing, was my deck. Ooh, okay. The 2 cards at the bottom, I'm told to pull them out. This is good stuff. This is confirmation. What I pulled from the 2 cards at the bottom is already absolute confirmation of the direction that this reading is going. It's just ridiculously important for us to begin really experiencing in a tangible way that we are protected by creation, that we are protected, that we are protected by our higher selves. That's not to say that you'll never experience anything difficult or challenging. That's to say that whatever difficult, challenging thing you do experience, it's to grow your understanding of yourself, right? So someone tested you. Someone tested you. They thought that you wouldn't have the courage to do whatever it is that needed to be done. They miscalculated. Eliza says, do we have to be present during the ceremonies for it to still benefit us? Absolutely not. What if you purchase into the ceremony but can't be there during it? It's recorded. And so with that, just like when you guys can't make the fire ceremonies that I do publicly, when you watch the recording, you receive the same benefits. And this is actually even better than those fire ceremonies because it's going to reach higher levels of frequency. I cap the frequency off during public live streams just to be considerate of, People can be very sensitive to higher frequencies. They're not accustomed to it. So I cap those energies off. In a private fire ceremony, there's no limits. There's no limits. Especially, I'm doing work on myself. I rarely do work on myself. So this is going to be some fucking ridiculous amounts of frequency. And you'll be able to continue watching it. The video will be available for at least a month. That's what I like to do, is keep it up for at least a month. And then you can keep rewatching it. Okay. So if you have like a really elevated, like energetic issue that someone is causing you, this might be a good idea. It might be a really good idea. Like a really good idea. All right. Hold on. I have 2 more decks that I'm going to pull from. I'm almost ready. I had already pre-shuffled these, but I like to shuffle them again just because. Just because I want to make sure that Michael is not going to be able to skew the cards in any way. Because sometimes I know that you tell me, oh, stop shuffling, because you want certain cards to come out. And oh, Michaela. All right. Here goes. So the first 2 cards that I pulled, invoke the Oraphim and parasitic. Invoke the Oraphim and parasitic. This is a very parasitic individual. They are hyperfixated on whoever their target is, right? They're being very much guided by something else. And it's almost like this something else is using this person to pressure inject into your life a lot of nonsensical dramas. That's me smacking them. You know what I mean? So this is what many people are dealing with right now. You have to be careful because there's an egg that's being used for later foolery. Okay. Invoke the Oraphim. Oraph is a founder being. This is foundational energies. This is some of the most highest frequencies you can ever experience, because anything beyond the Oraphim cannot be housed in our matrix. They can barely be housed in our matrix. And sometimes people don't realize that you have that level of protection. You have that type of reach when it comes to energy work, when it comes to spiritual practices. They can be parasitic all they want, but when you're on the level of Oraph, I'm gonna just drink something. I'm gonna drink my tea because I feel my attitude just bubbling. But see, here's the thing. A lot of people who have access to this level of protection, this depth of like energetic spiritual love and concern for your well-being, it becomes this thing of you have a tendency to really, really conceal that. Where most people don't realize the gravity of what you can do, what your protection can do on your behalf, right? So I don't know if maybe part of the message has to do with you no longer hiding the gravity of you, no longer allowing people to get away with whatever it is they're trying to get away with. It's just super important for you to stand in the light of your truth. It is super important for you to hold people accountable that need to be held accountable. When behaviors endanger others, whoever this is, whatever they did, that motherfucker needs to be held accountable. I'm not talking about vigilante justice. Listen, Vigilante justice will only get you so far and will also get you in trouble. Okay? If what they did is really that bad, then you should be able to take legal action and keep yourself protected from any ramifications of the correction of their behavior. Right? So you have to make sure you hold people that need to be held accountable accountable. It's the only way they will learn. It is the only way they will learn, and holding them accountable in the way that they choose to be held accountable. You do something that is criminal in activity, you need to be held criminally liable. You do something that destroys someone else's property, you need to be civilly liable, right? Approaching it from the proper angle is what will help you to guarantee success in your endeavors to correct whatever was done. It's time. And we will hear from people who have no problem with you continuing to be made to suffer at the hands of another. Just let it go. Let what go? The same thing that you've been holding on to for how long have you known this person? How long has this person done this to you? I know for me, and I have no shame in admitting it because we need to be able to witness a real person speaking about real circumstance so that we can understand we don't need to feel ashamed for being real, right? I have a tendency to tolerate people's behaviors for at least a few years. That's just the kind of person that I am. I'm adjusting that at this point. I'm really adjusting that at this point because I'm no longer going to be making excuses for people where I'm going to be like, well, just consider what happened to them in their life to make them this way. This is what you need to consider. Did you do anything? Did you specifically do something? Were you present when they were first wounded? Did you hand the person who wounded them the tools with which to wound them? Did you hold them down while that person inflicted the first wounds? No to all of that? It's not your problem. It is not your problem to be considering everything that they've gone through that made them that way. Let me tell you again, I am a real person who lives a real life. I have been beat senseless multiple times. Do I beat people? I have had my dignity taken from me. I have had things stolen from me. I have had no privacy. I've had all kind of really fucked up shit. Do I do any of that to anyone else? No? Correct. Because having these things done to you is not an excuse or a justification or a validation of you being a really shitty person. Shitty people are shitty people, period. Unless you are their parent, it is not your job to parent them back into wholeness. It is your job to not allow their wounds to bleed all over you and infect you. That's what your job is. And if walking away is not enough, then yes, additional action needs to be taken. When there are others who don't have the capacity to defend themselves that are being affected, then you need to do more than just walk away. You need to do everything that needs to be done. Okay. You need to do everything that needs to be done. You need to take the appropriate legal actions, go through the appropriate, proper channels. This is not about policing everybody. This is about creating a standard of living that no one is exempt from when they are sharing space with you, and doing it to the degree that people now know, you know what? This one, not worth victimizing, not worth trying to victimize. This one is a bad apple. It's going to teach everyone to hold me accountable. So let me leave this one alone. Because that's my plan from now on. That's absolutely my plan from now on. I will no longer be shamed by people who didn't protect me. I will no longer allow those people to shame me into lack of action, lack of proactive response to what is being done to me. Absolutely. I'm not going to shy away. I'm not going to hide it away. It's going to be a very, very clear, very public thing. You want to target me because I'm a public figure? Let me deal with my public life in a public manner. No, I'm not one that needs to lie. If you think you can accuse me of lying, that you didn't do something that you did, honey, I keep all the receipts, literally. Even receipts at gas stations, I keep those. I keep text messages. I keep emails. I screenshot my Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, TikTok Messenger. You won't be able to unsend it. You can unsend it, but I'll still have the original. Because let me tell you right now, before I even respond, as soon as I see it, it's screenshot. And then it's distributed through all my different archiving systems. And then I sit there and think, what did you mean by this? What were you trying to do with this message? Are you trying to insinuate you are wanting to harm me? Right? I am giving you right now the ways in which you can protect yourself, the ways in which you can facilitate the legalities that might need to be taken in order to correct behaviors. I am giving you direct instruction. So those that need to hear it, write it down. We're at minute 17 and 41 seconds. Scroll it back to maybe minute 10. 7 minutes, there you go. You don't know what to do? Do that. If you don't know what kind of action to take yet, do that. At the very least, document everything. Did you know that when you change your phone, usually all your text messages still stay with your old phone? There's even programs, apps that you can use to transport, migrate all of your content off of your phone onto your new phone. I keep every single one of my old phones. Yep. Yep. I don't interact with most people. I don't. That's a way for me to minimize how much bullshit I got to deal with, because let me tell you, it gets thick. The bullshit gets thick. And after years of no longer being available on my instant messengers, guess how many messages I get in on a daily basis? Not much. Not much. And whatever ones do get in, unless you have my phone number to text me, there's a high likelihood I will not see the message either. Because I'm aware. I'm aware of most people's intentions. I am aware. Most, not all. If you have something of beautiful sentiment to share with me, you know other ways to reach me, ways where the message will, in fact, be given to me. But no longer will I allow myself to be privately accessible to people who have potentially questionable intentions with me. Now, I'm not saying that everyone who's messaged me privately through social media has questionable intentions with me. I am saying the ones who continue to try and message me, despite a year now of me not ever opening a single message. Why? Why do you keep messaging like that? Why? You hoping that one day I will open it? And then what? Then you got me? No. No. If I am drawn to help someone, it will be because my heart instructs me to. Not because you've gotten the opportunity to read me and you see that I will bleed for pretty much anybody. And if you can just get me alone in a message box, You can get me to agree. No, no. And these are things that need to be publicly known, publicly spoken about. I am not an influencer. The only reason I am a public figure is because I am publicly visible. I am not an influencer. I'm not chasing your clicks and your likes and your shares or any of that. No. I will not do anything and everything that you demand of me just so that I can keep your clicks. No. No. This is about going from a space of people pleasing because you don't quite know yet, emphasis on yet, just how powerful and valuable you actually are. If you weren't so powerful and valuable, I'm pretty sure, I am pretty sure these predatory people would not be so fixated on you. Yep. Why are they fixated on you? Because they can see the abundance that lives inside you, an abundance that maybe you are not aware of, and they want it, they covet it. No, I'm good. I'm good. I've had enough cycles of the same fucking lessons. I am good. Unless I know your integrity personally, I will not share you or your work with anyone in my community. But Emmy, you've brought people on before they were doing energy work. Those are my students. I know their integrity. I know their heart inside and out. I know their capacity and capability. Fuck yeah, you're safe with them. I taught them personally. I spent no less than 40 hours with them. For some of them, I've spent already 120 hours. We're approaching 120 hours of instruction. Fuck yes, you are safe with those people. No, I'm not going to lead other people to be harmed because I want to please someone. No more. That behavior is done. It's done. And thank you to all of the ones that helped me to learn that in the most expeditious manner. Shadow, scrying mirror, but it's in reverse. You are not to simply mirror other people's poor behaviors, okay? You are not simply to mirror their lack of accountability, their lack of consideration, their lack of compassion, their lack of selflessness. There's healthy selfishness, and then there's toxic selfishness. The healthy selfishness, in my eyes, I don't know if you'll find literature to support or corroborate my personal beliefs. Healthy selfishness is the kind of thing where you need to make sure you are full of yourself, your sense of self, your self compassion, self awareness, that's full of being yourself. And it does not come at the cost of other people's dignity, safety, and peace. Toxic selfishness is all about getting ahead of everyone, seeing who you can step on in order to boost you up. I'm learning the nuances in the lessons my soul teaches me. I should be full of myself in the most humblest of ways. I should be fully aware, or at least attempting to gain more awareness of how much I can do, not just for myself, but also for others. And realizing that whenever I do for others, that's actually how I do for myself. Someone's been watching you. I'm sure they're realizing they've fucked up royally. Hold them accountable still. See, when someone gets to this point where they're realizing how they've really, really, really well, like Zeno, you're receiving energy from me in demonic Your demonic behavior needs to fucking stop. You're out. So, a lot of people, they'll get to this point, right? We're talking about parasitic shit. No, you don't get to come on my Facebook live stream and try and get people to message you. You'll get some messages for some demonic shit because that's what you're trying to harvest. Anyhow, some people, they'll get to a point, well, they'll become aware, like, oh shit, I picked the wrong one. That's not enough. That's not enough. It is not enough for them to become aware. They need to also receive a consequence so that awareness will last much longer. Right? So the difference between touching the stove, pulling your hand away real fast, and you just feeling the heat but not getting burned, right? Versus your hand being held over the stove and now you've got 3rd-degree burns. I promise you, you're never going to fuck with the stove again. Yeah. I really take my time when I'm eating soup. Why? Well, because when I was about 2 years old, I didn't want to wait for my mom to get back to the table to pour me some soup. She said I had to wait a few minutes. So when she walked away, I went ahead and I grabbed the fucking pot. I spilled it all over me. I got 2nd-degree burns. Yeah. Got 2nd-degree burns on my chest and my belly. I learned real good that day. My mom was not fucking around. She said it would burn me. She said it would burn me. You best believe I keep a healthy fucking respect for fire, for stoves, for ovens, all that shit. Anything that can burn me, I have a healthy fucking respect for that. Healthy respect for that. People need to begin being given the opportunities to learn and develop a healthy respect for you. I'm thinking you played small for so long that people actually began to believe the lie that you are actually small. Here's a reality that I keep continuing to be reminded of. Those of you who consistently spend so much time with me, I'm not talking about the ones who are obsessed and therefore banned and cannot comment. If you're banned and you can't comment, stop. I don't fucking want you around. Okay? You've crossed lines with me. You're disrespectful. I don't want you around. Fucking stop. Okay? You can't process things on my website. It's because I don't even want your fucking money. I know what your money includes connection to you. So fucking stop. Okay? But for those of you who continuously spend time with me, you do have the ability to comment. And not because you created new accounts, but because you've always had the ability to comment. You embody a greatness very comparable to my own. That's why we resonate. That's why there's resonance between us. I exist as a projection of your internal potentiality that you have not yet fully explored yet. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? How beautiful is it for me to acknowledge that that's why you feel that way towards me? I mean, like we are so similar. We bleed the same. We give to others the same. We hurt the same. We hurt so silently, no one hears. We feel so disregarded, except when there's an emergency and a crisis, and we're the first ones to be called. It's because we are the most powerful, and they disregard you because unless they need that power intimidates them. And the safest thing for them to do in their eyes is to keep you as far away as possible. Let me tell you, the first sign of trouble, you're the first person that pops into their mind. But that does not mean you are obligated to give more of yourself to people who have no problem taking, right? The people who have no problem taking, they serve as bottomless pits. Oh, ah! Tried to go up my nose. I feel so gross. I gotta go like this for the rest of the live. I think I tried to go up my nose. That was mad disrespectful. I can't. I feel unsafe. I'm not even joking. I feel unsafe and I need to block the entrance. Don't mind me, okay? Just don't mind me. Oh my god. Okay, is there anywhere for him to get in? Hold on. I gotta make sure it's all covered. If I keep my chin down, you don't see what's. I'm not even fucking around, Joe. I'm scared. Bugs scare me. I'm just really stressed out at this point. It's not picking up. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna sound weird. It's gonna be okay. It's worth it. So I can continue. Okay, winter. You got to get through this winter. This winter is going to challenge you in ways that really is just a preparation for the goodness. Is it in my nose? Oh my god, I trapped it in my nose. I think I gotta end the live stream. I'm scared. Give me 1 second. I did. I blew my nose. I'm scanning my face. There's nothing moving. All right. This winter is preparation for what you'll be receiving early spring. Okay? The consequences are now being received and your power being realized. Yo, I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to sweat because I'm so stressed out. Okay. I'm scared. I'm scared. All the plants have to go. They have to go. I can't work like this. I can't work like this. Okay. So by summer, you will see the actual effects of whatever it is you need to see. Winter, you're being primed for it, right? You're being primed. You're being like tested and invited to be nothing but a lesser mirror of the person that you actually are. And wintertime, you're being totally like tested. This is a period where you're going to learn about your oh my god. Okay. He's dead. He's dead. I don't care if he's dead. Okay. Winter time is when you're going to really learn about your capacity to excel And I feel like for some of you this winter time, it's going to be when you learn whether or not your environment is the appropriate environment, right? My fan is on. It's because I just fed my plants. Like, hold on. Oh, I don't like this. I don't even care anymore. Like, no, you went up my nose, dude. You went up my fucking nose. I have tiny ass nostrils and you still found your way in there. So good off this shit. This is some fucking peasant shit. Like, this is what peasants have to deal with. Okay. Anywho, here we go. So by summer, everything will be in full swing. And as you go into full swing, what ends up happening is you find your security, right? You find your sense of who you are, and what you need. And you'll find that creation itself is providing all of these things for you. Don't lose your dedication to yourself. Don't get caught up in some sense of like, it's almost like this thing of trying to convince you that you've achieved enough, you've received enough, you've this, you've that. I think for many of us, we go through this thought process where it's like, once we begin to receive, right? Once we begin to receive, we then have this mindset of like, oh, that's enough. I'm being greedy now. I'm just being selfish now. Like, no, you've only begun to start receiving. And so comes a point where when you begin to think that, like, oh, I've already received enough. I've already this and I've already that. And if you're needing to work for this, you're not being given something for free. You're earning it, right? And if you're earning things, then just be fine with receiving the appropriate compensation for what you're working towards, what you're earning. Okay. And that could include you working on a friendship or relationship and earning the trust, earning that space that you occupy in their lives, right? So just let yourself continue with the process, and then just continue. There's a secret that's about to come out. Let's set this aside because I don't know if the secret is for you or for someone else. Okay. Okay, this secret is going to clear away something yucky and restore balance in your life. And once this secret comes out to do that, your spring, things will begin to blossom, right? Things begin to blossom and blossom and blossom. And then you'll head onto like the summer period where all of these plants and seeds, like metaphoric plants and seeds that you've been tending to over the winter and spring, they'll come into full bloom. You'll be able to harvest the full bounty by summer. You have to call this goodness to you. You're not calling a person, you're calling the goodness itself, right? The goodness itself. So the secret and then the deceit. Okay. It's almost this sense of someone is going to just absolutely lie to you to try and convince you that what you're doing carries too much risk. It's not that it carries too much risk. The sense that I get, this might have to do with like a business or or just a decision that you're making for yourself. It might have to do with, I don't know, relocation, or it might have to do with a change in career. It might have to do with so many different things. It's hard to say, but the feel that I get, the undeniable feeling that I get, is that there are people in your life who will tell you that you're being dumb and that you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that and that it's too much of a risk. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Those are people who are miserable in their lives and they haven't gone anywhere in their lives. They haven't gone anywhere at all. Because I can't breathe. I can't breathe in this. Again, my nostrils are really small. Okay. Don't listen to people who are afraid of their own shadows, because when you do that, what ends up happening is you begin to live the very same life of fear that they're living. You don't need to live a life of fear. You'll still feel fear when you need to pay attention to certain things, but you don't need to live in that fear. I've had plenty of people try and give me business advice for things that they have no idea in. None. No idea in any of that. Yet they still try and like, yes, ocean, yes, fucking gnat. I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm fucked up right now. I'm cold and I'm hot all at the same time. I want my arms covered, but then I can't cover my face. But if I cover my face, I can't breathe. Maybe I just need it tighter. I can breathe more when, when it's tight. You guys, this is what it's like if I'm in your life. You talk about demons, you bring me to a haunted house. I'm not fucking scared. I'm like, tell me who I need to fuck up. You bring me to a space with a gnat. We got problems. We got problems. You cannot leave me. You have to stay by me in case there's... It tried to go up my nose. I felt it. It tried to go up my nose. Okay. So, someone that's extremely rigid is trying to serve as like your guidance or whatever, right? And they're going to be like, well, I'm just trying to remind you of the risks. I'm just trying to this. I'm trying to that. If you don't listen to them, you can't be trapped. These are people who are trapped in their own lives, in their own existence, in their head, in their fear. They are evidence of what happens when you allow yourself to be trapped. Don't let yourself be trapped. My eyebrows are starting to sweat. Eyebrows are starting to sweat. All right, so meditation is not going to help you with this. What you need is to retrieve the strength that you forgot about. For my logic, meditation helps you to make sense of what factors you allow yourself to be aware of. If you're not allowing yourself to experience a moment where you are aware of just how powerful you are, then what's meditation going to do but continue to loop the same thoughts over and over and over? You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. My friend is trying to get me to be... I have a respect for beliefs and spiritual religious practices. I don't, however, have a respect for the attempt to indoctrinate me into your beliefs and religious practices. That I don't like. That I do not like at all. At all. Like, at all. High Priestess of Spirit. Okay, you got to exit out of that safe space, that allegedly safe space in the grove, and enter into this High Priestess of Spirit space. Allowing yourself to really tap into the strength and the beauty that is you is crucial during this period. It is so super duper crucial during this period, right? Okay, someone doesn't want to let go because it's in reverse. This is someone who has a very skewed vision of your place in their life. This is someone that potentially is trying to gain, I don't know, some type of ownership over you. Some type of ownership, right? Let's see. So we started with Invoke the Orphan and Parasitic. We started with these two cards. I want to know what other information you guys need to know to be able to protect your space and all of that. Okay, so there's a lack of healing that's going on. That lack of healing, that entering or existing in a space of distorted darkness, distorted shadow, it's attracting things that are upside down in their perceptions as well. It's attracting people and things that that normally wouldn't be able to be around you in your space unless you're in that type of space, right? Okay. I need to find my courage because if not, I'm just going to full on pass out. If not, I'm going to full on pass out. And that's why I can't do the whole mask thing in the stores. My nostrils are too small. I still can't breathe. Okay. So this lack of healing, addressing the things that need to be healed, it's causing some of you to enter in a space that is just like a distorted dark space within you. If you're going to exist in if I go like this, if you're going to exist in a shadow space, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're going to exist in a shadow space that's distorted, that is absolutely a bad thing. That is absolutely a bad thing because your perception of who you are and your purpose, your worth, the type of treatment you deserve, that's all going to become very, very skewed. It's going to become very, very, very skewed. You cannot stay in that space for any length of time, maybe a few minutes, a day max. But if you allow yourself to remain in a distorted darkness, you're going to get lost in that so fast, like so fast. And then what's going to end up happening is you're going to really, really be at risk of forgetting, or worse, not forgetting, but believing a lie in regards to who you are and what you deserve. Okay. It's the lack of healing. There's going to be continuous attempts to keep you in a space where old wounds are being brought up, they're being brought to the surface. And as these old wounds are being brought to the surface, you're being triggered to the degree that you're going to avoid facing what you need to face. No, the consequences are now being received and your power is being realized by the people who need to realize it. This upside down space that you're existing in is causing you to attract also upside down things. Okay. It's causing you to refuse to rise to higher levels of awareness, higher levels of consciousness. All right. This is a deep wound. This is a deep wound. Yep, my intuition is telling me it's a deep wound. Just make sure nothing's nearby. This is a wound that's being hidden. Either you're hiding it from yourself or another person that's not the one receiving the consequences and realizing. I think it's a completely different person. Yeah, it's a completely different person. So there's someone or you feels betrayed about a soul separation that occurred. This card comes up in reverse. So it's like this sense of betrayal is being faced now. And so the separation is being resolved. That's what my intuition tells me. And then the intuition card pops up as like a as like a confirmation that yes, your intuitive hit is accurate, it's right. So there's something that you're hiding from yourself or they're hiding from themselves, and I think it has to do with this card that popped up. So that card popped up, and then there's this interference sigil in reverse, and that's telling me something is trying but not succeeding in its attempt to interfere with the correction of this separation that occurred. Now, yeah, dark interference. Just saying. Yeah, see? So there's a lot of things. So this is a twin ray healing. You have the mirrored souls card. You have the separation. You have this sense of betrayal. You have this lack of wanting to heal. You have this parasitic card. You have invoke the orifim. There are things that are occurring at this point that are really seeking to correct all of this, right? So you have the mirrored souls, and then you have the twin ray healing and the soul separation. Something is trying to correct all of that, but there is still this attempt to derail you and your progression due to dark interference. The dark interference is being used. These are the fucking flying monkeys of demons. They are disrupting your process of healing. Now, whatever this, obviously, this is a twin message, right? Whatever this twin message is, it's not for people who are just merely interested in the twin stuff because because of romantic potentialities. Ooh, this motherfucker is back. Michael, can you do something? Fucking make yourself useful. Can you stick your fingers up my nose? Because I don't want it to go up my nose. Okay. So, self acceptance. You have to accept yourself. You have to accept what process you're in. You have to allow yourself to go through whatever process you're going through. And you have to do so with a knowing that you, in fact, are protected. You're protected. Okay? You're safe. Just saying. You're safe. You're safe, and you need to allow yourself to experience your life in such a way where you can actually begin healing and growing and expanding in your perception of your place within your environment and the place of the people who are important to your growth, their place within your life. So I'm just saying, like, hold on, let me see. I haven't used this deck in a long time. Mm-hmm. What's going on? I'm already experiencing hypoxia is what's going on. If I burn something, my asthma is going to get even worse. So this reading just needs to be done. Okay, let's go fast. Okay. Heaven sent, whatever this is, it's been approved by your soul. You cannot undo this. You cannot avoid it. Anything that is sanctioned by your higher self, you cannot avoid, you cannot undo, you cannot renegotiate. The perception of your life. It was in reverse. And so this is telling me you're perceiving yourself to be more upside down and distorted than you actually are. Releasing allegiances, it's also in reverse. You really have to stop being so fucking loyal to remaining in the same space. This same space of pain and lack of healing and lack of expansion of awareness of who you are and what you're here for. After the storm, so after the storm, there's obviously that storm that's going on right now. It feels like it's more than just metaphoric, right? It feels like it's more than just a metaphoric thing. It has a potential of being it has a potential of being, excuse me, of being something that's so much more than just than just a concept. It feels like this is something you might actually live through, like a really stormy type situation that needs resolution. In the world, not of the world. In the world, not of the world. There is this renewed interest in you for some reason. That's the sense that I get. A renewal of interest, a renewal of, I wouldn't, I wouldn't say it's a fixation, like an obsession type thing. I would say that it's something that's probably more along the lines of um, like their higher self not being willing to let whatever this is go. This is probably someone that absolutely needs to have some type of interaction with you. I don't get a sense if it's like um, romantic interaction or um, I don't know. It's something that's not tangible. Like whatever it is that the two of you need to interact about, it's not tangible right now. It's something that will be realized after the first conversation. So this is someone that you have some type of soul work needing to be done with, right? Either the two of you agree to do soul work for the benefit of the collective, which it might be that, because I'm not receiving like fully formed, tangible ideas of what this could possibly mean. So this is possibly some type of collective soul work that's needing to be done. Okay. And then you also have this card as well. Card number 13, Power of Attraction. So basically, all the twin cards came out of all the fucking decks that I was told to pull. Be the hunter, not the hunted. What do you feel? Receiving. So these are all about what receiving. Be the hunter, not the hunted. This is about no longer waiting for handouts, but instead being proactive and going after what you want, right? Allowing yourself to receive the very thing that you're working so hard to get. what do you feel, but it's in reverse. So this is telling me that you don't you haven't been listening to your feelings. You haven't. You've been really allowing yourself to completely disregard the truths, the messages that are coming in, okay? These messages that are coming in. Oh, Ocean, he's definitely not going to be outdone because look, it's another card. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. Right? So it goes beyond logic and straight into the core of your existence, whatever this is. It's an existence level type of work needing to be done. All right. Gratitude. Okay. So this is they're all in reverse. Someone's being emo AF. Emo AF. Move forward. So let me clarify what I mean by this. Okay. When I say someone's being emo as of, I'm not saying that it's shameful or bad to be emotional, to feel your emotions. Being emo is just being stuck in the process of like being aware that you feel shitty, but never actually doing anything to discover the root causation of why you feel that way, or actively seeking and implementing solutions that can help you to feel better. That's what I'm talking about. Like someone is seemingly content to just be a fucking miserable sack of coal. But here's the thing, coal is also something very important. It can keep you warm on cold nights. You can use coal to create art, to draw, to get your feelings expressed in a very artistic manner. It's when you don't use something with what you don't do something with what you've been given that it's kind of just like, so then why complain? If you're content staying in that same space, don't complain. Just stay in that space and be content. Because there's people who they'll complain and complain and complain about certain types of things, but they never actually want to do better, to feel better. I'm not saying I feel that's what they deserve. I'm saying it's very clear. It becomes very, very clear to me that that is where they are comfortable and that is where they choose to stay. Like I've had a couple of people who have had some pretty intense health things that were happening in their lives for a prolonged period already, right? So they're having all of these health things happening. And I'm like, well, I don't want to cross boundaries. Like, that's their health. I know I can do something to assist with that because I have before in the past. I've helped clients with that. And then it's this thing of, well, maybe maybe they don't want to ask me because, they're kind of they don't want to ask me for free work. So let me just go ahead and offer because these are people that I already know that they're not users and things like that, right? And so I make this offer. Has nothing to do with money. You just have to give me permission. You have to allow me. And there's never really been an interest for them to allow me, right? And through the whole period, I'm over here thinking, it's years, right? I'm over here thinking, well, maybe it's not that they don't want to allow me. Maybe it's this and maybe it's that. And so finally, I find the courage to just be flat out like, hey, can I work on you? And then I see the reality of it. My intuition was right. They don't want the help. That is their space of comfort. They're comfortable in that misery. And so I need to do what I need to do. And what is that? Well, I need to back away. I need to stop trying to find a way to offer something they don't want. And it's okay. Like, my value is not set on one specific person not wanting me to help. Maybe they don't see it as helping. Maybe they see it as interference. So if you don't want me to interfere, then I need to let you stay in your emo space. Because if that's all you want is a reason to be emotional, by all means, you have it right there. You have your reason. It's a valid reason. You have a considerable health thing. So there you go. You got what you wanted. Let me leave it alone. And these are very hard lessons for empaths to learn. It is not a powerful thing to interfere with someone who's content in their condition. Interference is interference is interference, right? So it's time to move forward. Move forward. But I think for some, you don't want to because it's in reverse, right? So now I'm wondering, that moving forward, is that just is that just the person, whether it's you or someone else, I'm not sure. Is that just the person trying to find an excuse to once again avoid? Because it's this thing of if you're telling yourself to move forward and you haven't had the conversation yet that you need to have, and I don't know with who or what you have to say, but it seems like this is a very, very important conversation. And if that conversation is not going to be had, then you can't be a free spirit if you move forward. That moving forward is simply an intellectualized, highly intelligent maneuver, clearly. It's an intelligent maneuvering of avoidance. It's still rooted in avoidance. So there's this lack of gratitude. There is this refusal to enter into the shadow spaces because of the emotions, right? These emotions that are involved is really causing a lot of distortion. I don't got patience for that kind of shit today. I don't. I want to take a fucking nap. I don't got patience for that. Not today. Bug went up my nose. Tried to. Then I fatally injured him and let him loose. I think I partially crushed him and then he fell out. See, lack of balance. Celestial teacher in reverse, lack of learning. Letting go. Is this letting go or giving up? Because we have to make sure we understand the difference between the two. Are you letting go or are you giving up? Do you need me to be harsh? Are you letting go or are you giving up? Are you quitting? Are you going to be a quitter? Because I'm not a quitter. You can't claim resonance with me if you're going to be a quitter. So you have to get very, very solid within your knowing of exactly what it is you're doing and why. If you're simply going to avoid, call it what it is. I am avoiding. I am not ready to face this. That's honorable. That's recognition of where you are and what you're currently capable of. That's honorable. But saying you're letting go because it's time to let go, when you know damn well all you're doing is quitting because you're afraid, call it what it is. I feel like quitting because I'm afraid. Because then when you're honest with yourself, I can be less aggressive in my approach. I can speak the truth in a much softer way. But if you're going to sit here with this lie, I don't respond well to lies. I get aggressive in my communication. So are you lying to yourself? Are you letting go that which no longer serves you? Or are you throwing away something that will take you to the next level of your learning and your growth and your soul's purpose because you're afraid? Brave people are not brave because of their lack of fear. They're brave because of what they choose to accomplish, even in the face of it. You can quote me on that. I have accomplished a lot in my life. Most of the things I've accomplished, I do not talk about because I accomplished it for me. not to brag. It's for me. Now, all the things I accomplished while being afraid. I accomplished with fear present. Fear is not something that should be allowed to prevent you from doing, achieving the very things that you're being tasked to do and achieve by your soul. That's not fear. That's not fear's job. That's not fear's proper place. Fear brings your attention to the things you need to address in order to amplify and elevate your potentiality of success. I am not educated in anything that I've accomplished. Some of the few things that I've shared with you guys, I am a published professional photographer, makeup artist, hairstylist, and wardrobe stylist. I've done post production editing using software for publications. These images were printed and published, and they entrusted me to do post production editing. I'm not a graphic designer. I taught myself, just like I taught myself how to use a DSLR, a digital SLR. I still, to this day, cannot explain jack shit about aperture and f-stop, but I promise you the pictures I can create using a camera you hand me. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. If you're creating excuses for yourself by saying, well, I don't have the appropriate education to do the things I want to do. Okay, what are you trying to do? Be a doctor? Fucking, you need to go to school for that. You trying to be an attorney? You need to fucking go to school for that. Short of official careers like that, where your education will make sure that your clientele are not mishandled in the most grievous way possible, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You're looking for reasons to convince yourself, to justify to yourself why you are less than and incapable of achieving what you know in your heart you can achieve. I'm not going to coddle that. I've never been the type of mom who could coddle things like that. I haven't. Never. I can try my best to sit as quietly as possible while you process and to give you time to come to me and let me know that you want me to be involved in whatever process you're in. But I'm not going to coddle or be quiet when you are having a full on fucking meltdown. It's a tantrum. If you're having a tantrum, it's absolutely my obligatory job to let you know you're having a fucking tantrum. I don't like tantrums. See, when you're younger and you have a tantrum and I'm your mom, I let you know you are losing control. Let me know if you need my help to calm down. I'm not going to shame you, but I will let you know this is the process you are in. And if you cannot get back in control of yourself, then you need to communicate to me that I need to step in and assist you. But see, you guys are adults. You are all adults. And these are things that really need to be learned at this point. That self regulation cannot just help you in your interactions with other adults, it can help you in the interaction between the self and the soul. Because just because you don't have an outwardly expressed, um, easily witnessed tantrum does not mean you're not having an internalized tantrum and refusing to listen to your soul. Yeah. And so sometimes you're brought before someone who has the courage and the attitude to point that type of stuff out. What is your soul guiding you to do that you refuse to do? What is it? What are you allowing yourself to be convinced you are not capable of achieving when in reality that's your purpose? I'm not a public speaker, but I am. I don't want to talk publicly, but I do. I'm the most extroverted introvert you've probably ever come across. I will only be as extroverted as is necessary to make sure you are comfortable in the presence of my introversion. It's okay to not be able to very cleanly and very clearly label yourself, because guess what? You weren't designed to have labels affixed on you. You're not a flat wall. You are not a sign. You are not any of those things. You are a dynamic, flowing movement of energy. How do you know, or how do you feel when your soul is having a tantrum? It's not your soul that has a tantrum, it's you. It's you. It's when your soul, your intuition is telling you to do something. It's guiding you and encouraging you to do something, and you continue to refuse. You continue to refuse. You guys have witnessed me do this quite a few times. I don't know if you remember, there was a live stream where Michael really put me in my place. He really put me in my place because I was getting out of hand with being disrespectful to him and not listening and not wanting to comply with the messages that were coming through. And then what happened? And then I felt ashamed and I felt small and I felt all these other things that caused me to be just very, very sad within myself. The realizations hit. And he had told me in that live stream, ask everyone to put eyes on the screen. Or was it like a face just staring? Right? You guys remember that? Where it was just all the comments was a wall of eyes looking. And I was all snarky and and then he says to me, those are all the people watching you make a fool of yourself. And I was like, yeah, I was having a tantrum. I was having a tantrum. Should I be ashamed that you guys witnessed that? No. Because if I'm really going to serve as some type of template for you to use for your growth and your process and your journey to understand yourself at the depth that you need to see the full process and see the full process in the most authentic manner possible, not something contrived, not something that's pre planned and like, okay, I need to get my Christ stick so that I don't even own a Christ stick. You know what I'm saying? You know? Or like you're going to go online and shop for a cry stick so that you can sniff it and cry on cue. Like, no. Sometimes we have to see what it is we're trying to accomplish before we understand what we're being asked to do. Sometimes we have to see what it is we're trying to accomplish before we know what it is we're being asked to do. And I'm not so ashamed that I'm never going to share that that's why that live stream went the way it did. And you know, everyone was like, you guys, I love you so much. I love y'all so much. Everyone's like, oh my God, Michael's a dick. Michael's such a jerk. And I was like, no, that's what I get. I was having fucking attitude left and right. That's what I get. I did that to myself. Because the reality of it, what did he really do? Was Michael talking shit to me? No. He was pointing out in a very, very tangible way how many pairs of eyes were watching me misbehaving, and how many people from all of those pairs of eyes might misconstrue my poor behavior as some type of spiritual truth, as some type of encouragement to also poorly behave and not hold yourself accountable. I needed that shit. I needed my ass checked that day. Like, girl, what the fuck are you teaching people? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just me having a bad day. I was just choosing to be bad. I'm not a bad person, but sometimes I'd be like, no, fuck you, Michael. I'm not saying that. I don't give a shit. Some days, but don't stay there. You can have those days, but don't stay there. So I'm going to pull one more card. I was going to pull Rumi, but I think instead I'm going to pull from Kali. All right. Final card, you guys. And I think part of the reason that conversation needed to come up, that memory needed to be rehashed, is simply because we need to be able to witness that it is okay to go back to memories, situations that you've already lived through, that were not the best, that maybe caused you to feel, you know, like you question yourself and you question your intelligence and, you know, whatever else. It's okay. You don't have to pretend to be perfect. You don't. You don't have to pretend anything. You can be as authentically you as you possibly can be in that moment and still be able to love and cherish and honor yourself and your process as you go through it. Right? It's okay. It's okay for you to be a regular person. It's okay for you to be a regular person and a quantum divergent all at the same time. You are a totality, not a duality anymore. So enter into that totality, that space of accepting all your parts. Matangi. Oh. All right. Matangi. Matangi. I don't know. Card number 24. I know, but she's badass with her parrot. Unicorn fish, are you here? That's you, boo. Just badass and all. Look at that. She's a tantric queen of outcasts, unveiling hidden inner power to thrive outside conventional society. Ooh, tell me that is not exactly what this whole reading is about. Let me read that again. She is a tantric queen of outcasts, unveiling hidden inner power to thrive outside conventional society. She holds the secret teachings of the power of the voice, of the healing power of art and music. She is a divine feminine medicine for the lost, the alienated, those who have been cast aside. If you have been denied love and respect, she brings healing and empowerment. If you have suffered rejection, abandonment, or been labeled as unworthy in any way, she brings dignity and repair. She is the ignition of a creative, joyful, and vibrant life path. The ninth of the wisdom goddesses, Mahavija Matangi, is a wild goddess, sparkling green in color with a green parrot as her symbol. She dwells outside the confines of polite society. She eats stale food as a symbol of her power in the realm that has been discarded and rejected, and her ability to source power from that which others cannot recognize as having value. Matangi sees worth where others are not capable of noticing it, let alone honoring it. She is for those souls going through the experience of being disrespected, discarded, not really seen, and not loved and valued for their true being. She is also for those who think and seek to live outside social, political, economic, or religious systems and can thrive best by doing so. Her association with pollution and unclean foods represents her power to overcome impurity and toxic energies. These include poisons on all levels, from the many physical toxins in our modern world to actions that appear holy on the surface but are rotten at the core, to the emotional and psychological poisons that steal away our peace and freedom. For those who recognize the spiritually dysfunctional lifestyles that typify mainstream mentality, who may feel uncertain or vulnerable as how to cultivate well being and protect the planet for future generations, she provides strength, courage, and ingenuity. Matangi opens a sacred pathway that bypasses fear and moving with the crowd, releasing constrictions to the soul and allowing for authenticity and a deeper inner aliveness to emerge. You'll know when this is happening because you will feel increasingly like yourself, responsible and free to create your path in life, while recognizing how trapped and deadened so many are around you. You will feel grateful that you don't fit in and determined to manifest something constructive with a gift of freedom and spiritual power that you've been able to access. Matangi is the liberator, and her appearance in a reading implies you cannot find fulfillment in the dreams another has dreamed for you, nor in the values that mainstream society holds. You have a path and a purpose that needs to break with societal conditioning. And sometimes that will mean experiencing what it is to be an outsider. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Ooh, let me read that again. Sometimes that will mean experiencing what it is to be an outsider. Sometimes you need to be made an outsider in order to really truly fulfill your purpose, because part of what your purpose is to invite people to exit out of those programs, and you cannot do it while you are in the program. Do you know how many times I've been made to be the outcast? I'll tell you how many times. It was every single time I tried to enter and remain in any group that wasn't aligned with the gravity of who I am. Many times, every time. And I needed to remain outside so that you could join me there, so that you could join me outside of all of these different spaces that seek to be your secondary prison. You are never alone, and really, you belong to a soul tribe of unique beings with Matangi as our spiritual queen. There is nothing wrong with being different. You can find a way to belong that does not compromise your essential self, but rather frees and empowers you to belong to yourself fully. As the tantric emanation of Saraswati, Matangi opens us to the esoteric power of speech. This is the realm of poetry, speaking and writing that inspires and uplifts. The use of words in such a way that they have the power to change another's state of being. Some may call this spell casting. A beautiful teaching associated with Matangi is that the devotee must treat all women with reverence and respect. She will not manifest her blessings where the feminine is criticized or desecrated. We use the power she gives to honor the sacred, and her power grows in us. To use such power to put another person down is an act against the goddess and will not manifest any benefit. So Matangi's presence often indicates a time when we are learning this spiritual power and responsibility as our influence expands. In a reading, she helps to overcome toxic patterns or situations. If you have been feeling at the mercy of another person or situation, she reassures you that you have the spiritual power within to claim your energy as your own. What I just said, all of that, if you were to ask me to explain what these events I'll be doing this month are, not this month, it's not yet October, right? These events right here, these. The Andaran, oh no, wait, that's not it. That's not it. Hold on, I will get this. It's right here. That's what these events are for. It's right here. Thank you, Lindsay. All right, this right here, these events, right? That's what this is doing. This is all the stuff that I'm planning to do for myself. And as a thank you for those who are willing to assist me, to empower me as I go through this process of correcting the malignancy of this male who is trying to harm me in whatever way possible, to be able to share that space and have you also benefit from the same energetic corrections. I'm not someone who likes to harm other people. But I'm becoming someone who no longer has a fear or a hesitation when it comes to rightfully correcting behaviors that are so far out of hand. I really encourage you guys to consider joining me for that event. This is everything. It's like kind of blowing my mind right now because this is literally everything that those events are supposed to be. She will assist you in shedding psychic contaminations or residues from others, and you need have no fear. It's exactly what I was doing. As Matangi operates outside systems and convention, if you are feeling afraid or victimized within a system of bureaucracy, for example, you're asked to seek sanctuary in her and trust in her overriding power. Absolutely. You know, there are some who have willingly chosen to incarnate, to initiate incarnation cycles in order to assist in different ways. And some of those ways is by utilizing their ability to override certain distortions that are so commonplace on this earth. So many have struggled and suffered because of what is considered norm. No more. No more. As a mother of nothing but future leaders, young men who are being raised to be balanced and empowered, to not just feel masculine because they're male, but to feel masculine because of their capacity to honor and uphold their duties as a counterpart of the feminine energy. I mean, please. It's this thing of us needing to step into our rightful place and knowing that if someone is in your rightful place, they must be removed. It's not up for negotiation. If you are in my rightful place, you will be removed. If you are standing in my path and this is my lane, you will be removed. And having no fear or no shame for understanding you have the authority to do that. You have the authority to do that. Okay? You don't have to be like, oh, I don't know if maybe do you have the wrong seat? Like, no, no. I remember years ago when my husband and I, we were just dating. And mind you, I was working security at the time. So like the guys would always, I don't know, being around them gave me extra testosterone. And so I was like, no, I don't give a shit. And so I remember we were waiting for a movie to start and my husband, we were already seated. Like we came early so that we could get the seat that we wanted. And so there was an extra seat beside him and there was one extra seat beside me. And then the row was full. So this couple walks into our row and he happens to reach me first. He walks into our row and he says, hey, you got to move over. What? Yeah, I got fucking loud. And my energy matched my tone. I'm not fucking scooting over. You going to approach me like that? I don't think so. You wanted this seat? You should have came here as early as we came. Mm-hmm. So that's what he said. Hey, you got to scoot over. And I said, what? And then he went like that. He goes, oh, could you please scoot down one seat so we could sit here? Oh, yeah, sure. Honey, could you scoot over one seat so they can fit? Motherfucker, don't be thinking that just because you're like 6'5" and I'm only up to your belt buckle that you can talk to me however the fuck you want to talk. I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't carry that authority here. You might carry it with other people. I don't give a fuck how tall you are. You're not going to talk to me however way you please. I don't think so. And I communicate all that with like, what? I'm like, honey, I think you're going to get in a fight today. I don't think my husband even knew what happened because I think he was just looking around. I was just like, oh, looks like you're getting a fight today. He didn't get in a fight. I was like, I don't think so. Okay. Anyways. No fasts or other purification rituals, no initiations or other forms of teaching are required to practice her mantra. She encourages music and dance as a way to connect with her and receive her blessings. She reminds us that to the divine eye, we are lovable, worthy, and acceptable as we are. Ooh. She reminds us that to the divine eye, we are lovable, worthy, and acceptable as we are. Hers is a joyful part of the heart. Ooh, I love that. I love that, I have never gotten my husband into a fight. In the 20-something years we've been together, I have never gotten him into any kind of altercation, not a single time. I was totally joking about you gonna fight today. My husband knows I'd never I don't want him fighting. I don't want to be with a violent person. But I will say though, you fuck with his wife, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to convince him not to be. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm pretty sure he gonna have an issue with that one. So guys, why don't we do this? I'm gonna get going, but I wanted to do a little bit of energy work with you guys. I won't be able to do expedites later today. I have to teach my classes. Excuse me. I want to do a little bit of energy work with you guys and be able to kind of maybe give you a sense of what life can be like when you remove the shackles, right? So this is going to be temporary. I can't do it long term in a public live stream like this. It does not feel appropriate. But I can do it temporarily so that way you can see what it feels like for the rest of the day. And then you can consider joining me for those events. And those events, it's not a public live stream. The amount of frequency that I'm going to reach in events that like that, I say fuck those shackles. But I mean, it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of energy work right now before I get going and take my aggression out on the weights. Oh shit, I almost hurt myself. Oh my God. Hold on. I tweaked my. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, I'm going to play some music for y'all. I dropped the mic. Right. All right. Let me put some music on for you guys. So just breathe very deep and very slow. Right. Okay. This is one of my most favorite songs to use. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubts. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubts. Continue to breathe very deep, very slow. For those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel tingling on your wrists, your ankles, around your hips, around your neck. Feel the emotion in your chest. Feel the energy flowing through you. Feel a lightness in the areas that I mentioned. Notice how free and powerful you are. This is the truth of your existence. This is the gravity of your authority. Just breathe and allow. Allow the energy to circulate through, all the way through. Allow yourself to feel your power, quite possibly for the first time. Feel your Kundalini go active. Feel that ice fire wrap around each vertebrae as it rises from your tailbone to the top of your crown. Feel that energy wrap around your cranial space to remind you of your royal origins. You're not a basic person. You're not here to exist in a box or live out of obligation to others. You're here as a gift, a treasure, a blessing to be witnessed as you unfold. Accept your purpose. Accept your energy back. Notice how light and powerful your body feels. Notice how safe you actually are. For those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel a wing activation. Your wings are being primed. You might begin to feel a wash of tingles from your crown down to your feet. Your soul is washing away your fear and your doubt. Step into the light beside me. Take one more deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Allow yourself to come back to center and rejoin me in this space that we share. How do you guys feel? Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. Mm. Ooh, that gave me goosebumps. That gave me the goosies. Mm, 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 mm. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. You guys, it's really time for all of us to begin recognizing how powerful we are as we are right now in this moment, not after you experience something or achieve something or finish a class or a program or get a different job or a different house or more money or no, none of that. Like right now, right here. Even if you're watching me on Wi-Fi at the library because you haven't worked and you can't afford Wi-Fi, you are good enough as you are in that public library here sharing space with me. Doesn't matter what you own or don't own. It doesn't matter what hardships you've been through or are still going through. You are here, you are needed, you are valued and cherished, you are necessary for all of humanity to get to the next step. You matter. We all do. Let the people who create hardship for you, let them do what your soul is asking them to do. Make you so uncomfortable that you choose to rise rather than stagnate. Okay? That's all those people have the authority to do. Encourage you in a negative way to rise higher, to achieve more, to be more of who you are destined to be. Leave your fear here. Carry on the rest of your day with this feeling of lightness and personal power, authority over yourself and your life, because all of that is your truth. The fear is what brought you here to receive the truth. Now that you've received the truth, leave the fear here, and we'll allow creation to recycle it and turn it into something even more beautiful. Okay? So guys, a quick reminder. If you could please, if you have the ability to and the willingness, please do donate to my legal fund. It's screen. And this fund is all earmarked to go towards the retainer fee for lawyers in Switzerland. I need to take a stand and actually make very, very clear I will no longer be tolerating people's threats and just absolute demonic behavior towards me, and especially not towards my husband or children. Consequences need to be realized and lived through by those who continue to act and believe that they are beyond consequence. No, no more. I used to do nothing but that, nothing but turning a blind eye. No more. No more. So, if you guys, as members of our community, if you have the ability to, whatever amount, it all adds up and gets me closer to retaining the lawyers in Switzerland. I do need to retain lawyers in Switzerland in order to initiate criminal proceedings. Okay, so that's something that the law firm had already told me. It would be very, very difficult if I don't have liaison that doesn't know all of the different legislation. So, because they are in Switzerland and a national of Switzerland, I have to do it this way. Okay. So, I love you guys. And I just want to show some gratitude for everyone who has already given. Like, you guys are amazing. All of you are amazing. And those who have already given, I know that probably I know that probably was difficult. Okay, I know we're all kind of in a space right now that is challenging most of us with finances and whatnot. I really, really appreciate you helping in that way. Okay. I don't care if it was $5 or more than that or $1, whatever it was that you had the generosity of heart and spirit to give, it is deeply appreciated and it is going a long way. My goal is to seek the heaviest consequence possible. I have dealt with this for over 2 years, at the very least 2.5. My goal, if I am able to seek the heaviest consequence possible, and I am awarded any type of damages, that goes towards building our sanctuary. I don't plan to keep any of it. I want to give back, just like you guys give to me. Okay. So know that if you are in the United States, if you make a donation to this link, it is technically a donation. It's being run through my nonprofit. and you'll be able to receive that receipt as a donation receipt. You can claim it on your taxes in the United States. Let me be the first disempowered woman to be helped in the most public of ways by the nonprofit. And I know what's going on. I know what this person is being used for. They're being used to try and take the head off the body of the community. We don't come together like that. I am not the head. I am a member of the community. I am not the head. I am just as powerful and important as each of you are. They'll never end our community. No, this is not going to happen. Because you know what? Even if I went quiet, there's plenty of you that will not. And if it ever got to a point where I couldn't live stream, I'll give one of you that I trust access to everything and you'll continue live streaming. This is not going to stop. The community is not going to stop. Nope. I'm not here to be a leader. I'm here to serve as a template and be witness. This is how we're doing it. We're holding people accountable and allowing the damages to be, rather than merely damages, allow it to be the foundation of what we're building. It's okay to still have fear. But don't let that fear stop you from taking the appropriate action that you know is necessary. Okay? We got this, you guys. Again, if you have the ability to, I don't want you going without in order to help. If you have the ability to, please do consider donating to that link. If you don't right now, it's okay. It's okay. However long it takes, that's how long it's going to take. We don't need to do this like we have to rush and do it today. No, my resolve will last a very, very long fucking time. A very long time. Your needs are important too. We'll make this happen. And however long it needs to take, we'll make this happen. And this will be the first step. Absolutely. Yes. And no, I'm not trying to extort anyone of any money. It's criminal activity. I want to make that very clear. He threatened to kill me in multiple emails and drink my blood. Yeah. I'm smiling just so that I don't allow myself to express other emotions. This is real criminal activity, and it needs to be treated as such. And if I'm going to be awarded damages, let my community benefit. Let's build that community. And everything, anytime I need to take legal action from this point on, that's the goal. That's the goal. Whatever you want to try and do because you think I'm the head of a community that's growing in power and grace, you're going to be funding my community. I will seek legal fucking action for everything from this point on. All you motherfuckers that have tried and kept on for years, oh, once I'm done with Philip, you're next. It would be good for you to quietly fucking disappear before I finish with Philip. Because I promise you, I've kept all your shit too. And you're stateside. You know what that means? I will fucking go to town on you. Disappear before I finish with Philip. Or keep on and help me build the very thing you're trying to stop me from building. Either way, you're not fucking with my community or me anymore. That ends. It's done. Don't be afraid, you guys. Don't be afraid. Even if you are, keep going. Keep going. We are in it together as a community. We got each other. You're not alone anymore. That's why they don't want me to exist. That's why they don't want my videos to go out and be shared. That's why they restrict my reach. That's why they do all these things. I don't give a shit. I didn't need their permission to exist. I didn't need them to co-sign my birth certificate in order for me to be born. And if you weren't needed for that, I don't give a shit what you want me to not do. As long as my soul is telling me to do it, good fucking luck stopping me. Good luck. I love you guys. Keep your chins up. You're going to go through whatever you're going to go through in the next couple weeks, couple months, through winter, all the way through spring. We got this. Whatever this is, we got this. Keep your chin up. Keep joining us here. Keep sharing of yourself, sharing of your thoughts. This is the space where we hold space for you to grow. I love you guys. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Yes. Yeah, tomorrow. 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for church. Yes. If I wake up, a lot of stress makes me sleep more. So if I wake up, I'll try. I love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, everyone.